everybody, this is Bill Bradford with another Samuel's Market Update. Happy New Year! Oh boy, am I still feeling it. What a crazy month. Not to mention my New Year's Eve. I haven't even changed out of my Seven Fishes shirt yet. However, it is time to get down to business. Okay, well, that's a little better. Now I'm really ready to do a great recap of 2015, along with projection of some interesting things that maybe come up in 2016. So let's go talk to some buyers and some people in our sales department. Okay, so now I'm sitting down with two of my favorite coworkers here. We have the very lovely Jessica DiGregorio, who is our DC sales rep.
Hello,
and
hello.
Another return to the screen is Joseph Las Brigada, Vice President of New Product Development. Joe, thank you for coming. Jessica, thank you for being here.
Anytime.
Wilby, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm very happy. But I do want to get started into some happy topics.
Let's get started.
There were a lot of cool things that happened in 2015. We saw the first GMO salmon to be approved by the FDA, along with Atlantic Sapphire salmon, which is a very new land-based and sustainable farm-raised salmon that Samuel's has been bringing in. Joe, what I want to ask you, as a marine biologist that you are and a veteran, things like these, how do you think they may affect 2016 or the upcoming trends in aquaculture and sustainable seafood?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Wilby. Two very different topics, but two very interesting ones. The Aqua Bounty product, which, as you mentioned, is a genetically modified organism. The first genetically modified organism approved by the FDA for commercial sale. And it's also recently been approved by the Canadian equivalent of the FDA. So it's getting some legs in that regard. On the other hand, there's a lot of opposition because there's a lot of groups that are kind of against GMOs and anything that's produced in a laboratory. So it's a very interesting topic, and I think a lot of the resistance to it is unfounded. People are concerned that are not sure of the effects on the human being of ingesting a genetically modified Atlantic salmon would be, but it's been tested by the FDA, and it should be just as good for you as a normal farm-raised Atlantic salmon. The good thing about it is, and with everything that's good and bad about everything, is that you'll get a fish that's twice as large, but it uses 25% less feed to create this fish, and it grows in half the time. So in a world where we're constantly looking for new food sources, this could be an option in the future.
Okay, do you think maybe this product will springboard other companies to do similar things?
Well, I think you're correct. I think not only other seafood companies, but more importantly, you're going to see it with other proteins. I think you'll see it in the beef industry, the chicken industry, and also the pork industry. And that's where really the gist of this whole issue is what's next, being that it was the first.
Okay, and speaking of what's next, I mentioned the Atlantic Sapphire salmon, an aquaculture product. Samuel's is always bringing in aquaculture, whether it be oysters or different boutique fish. How do you see aquaculture growing this year?
Well, with 8 billion people in the world, obviously we need new food sources, new protein sources, and aquaculture is going to become more and more important. The thing that's interesting about the Atlantic Sapphire product is it's completely tank raised, which is not new for us. We've had other products over the years. The Arctic char has been tank raised out of Iceland for over 20 years now. But this is a little bit larger fish, and the technology is really starting to perfect itself now. So it's kind of interesting, and Jessica will tell you that her customers are excited about it. In fact, we brought the product in for one of Jessica's customers. And it's a tank-raised product, and what that means is there's going to be less it's going to be completely contained, so you're not going to impact the external environment. It's as close to an organic product as you're going to get because everything's controlled from the water, the feed. You're going to have less chance of escapement, obviously, because it's contained in the tank. Then you have to worry about less things like parasites, like sea lice and things, and having to treat for that because it's all contained. The other interesting thing, if you think about it, now you can also move these facilities away from the coast. So now we can raise salmon theoretically, we can raise Atlantic salmon in, say, Las Vegas, right in the middle of Las Vegas. So it's going to cut down the carbon footprint because the products are going to be raised right there.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. You know, if there was an evolution to you know, the aquaculture and the
Right, and you're going to see more and more of these tank-raised products. I just read an article that in Norway they anticipate producing 20,000 tons this year, tank-raised. So it's going to be, you'll see more and
Tank-raised
more.
salmon?
Yeah. So you're going to see more and more about it. And the word's out because, as I mentioned, was it AJ? MJ.
MJ,
Was it from Black Restaurant Group?
Yes.
He was the first to he had heard about it and he had asked
Yeah,
about it. And
he
he was
did.
one of our first customers. And Jessica can tell you how it's been
Speaking
received.
of customers always trying to teach you something, he definitely opened our eyes to that, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of your customers seem to, you know, maybe request new products,
Right.
which is something Samuel's does very well. I wanted to get down to that. We brought in some new products this year.
Yep.
We brought in the Fremantle Octopus Hands, a whole new line of the Canterbury Cure. Jess, I know you're a big fan of that line of caviars and smoked fish and now the smoked sturgeon. Tell me, what is the feedback you've been getting from your customers?
So I have a lot of positive feedback for the Canterbury Cure line. The taste, the freshness, the affordability on it. A lot of customers are requesting it. A lot of customers, you know, prefer that now. But like I said, MJ, he loved it. He came down for a tour. We let him taste the caviar. And he was kind of blown away, just like our smoked salmon. I didn't have the chance to taste the sturgeon.
You didn't. Oh, we all tasted it
No,
here.
I know.
This is
I was a little
really
upset
good.
about that, but I've heard positive feedback on it.
Yeah, and the difference with the Canterbury Cure products, what makes a difference with the smoked salmon is that the raw salmon product is never frozen during the process,
completely
and
fresh.
the smoked product is never frozen. So it gives a very clean, firm, without
Creamy
being tough
taste, yeah.
texture. And it all starts with the farm-raised Scottish Atlantic salmon. So I think it's a very high-quality product end to end. So it's
Yeah, two big selling points. It's a Scottish, you know, salmon for the smoked salmon, and it's always fresh.
Yeah,
It's
so
not-
there is a difference. It's just not a label. It's not just a good product because, you know, it's the Samuel's exclusive. It is really, truly a superior product.
Yeah, it's been hearing everywhere. Like I said, I wolfed down a bunch of it when we got to try it, and I thought it was great. So, but yeah, we can kind of wind down. Sounds like good things for aquaculture, good things for seafood, good things for the Canterbury line. If you guys have any interest, Jessica, always happy to speak with you. You're
Thank you.
quite beautiful, and you look even better on camera, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Joe, I always like
She's
sitting
married.
next to you.
Welby.
I know she's married. There's hope. But 2015 was a great year. I think 2016 will be even better. So this is Bill Bradford signing off saying, remember, we're not broadcasters, we are fish people.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We act like we're laughing when we
No,
say
no,
it. Like,
no.
He fixed his collar. He's like all like he slept in it.
I know, I need a girlfriend. Those pretty
This
eyes.
is all going in the
like a cheers.
Should I do one of these? I don't know if you're looking.